This is a tutorial on the app Notability. This is the note-taking app that we're going to be using in algebra. It looks like this. When you open it up, you see on the right a list of all the notes that you have. On the left is kind of your organization system. We're going to start and kind of set it up for our Algebra 1 class. And so you'll come over here and we're going to start and open up. And we can start by creating either a category or a subject. You kind of want to think about what it is you're going to be taking notes on. If you're just using it for school, I really probably would recommend that you go to category and you add probably just, it seems backwards, but you're going to add your subject name. So you're going to call this Algebra 1B. And then if you were going to create, use this for biology, you could create a file that says biology. So once you do that, you can see that it opens up as a folder. And then inside that folder, what I'm going to do is go ahead and add a subject, but my subject is actually going to be my chapters. So I'm going to call this Chapter 1. And you can see that that's inside there. And then over here on the right, notice that this is highlighted. So on the right are all of my notes for Chapter 1, which I don't have any right now. And so we're going to start and just jump right in and create a note for Chapter 1. Now, rather than starting from scratch when you're taking your notes, we're actually going to have, just like if we had a paper copy of a note sheet for you, we're going to have that same thing available to you, but it'll be in a digital version. So what I'm going to do is come over here. This is this is if I want to share it with someone. I don't want to share it. I'm going to come to this one where it shows the arrow coming into the note, and that's where I'm going to go to my Dropbox. I have different places, but we're going to have everything in your Dropbox account for you. And you'll have your folders. You're going to go to your Algebra 1B, Chapter 1, and here are your distributive property notes. So you will import that in. You can add it to a note that you already have going, but I'm going to create a new note. I just want it to go at the beginning of my notes, and here it is. Opens up, automatically names it what you imported it, distributive property notes. This is the note sheet that would have been like a paper copy of notes. Let's go ahead and start taking our notes. First thing I want to point out is this down here. You have kind of two options. One of the problems with a touch screen is that no matter where you touch it, it's going to want to write or move or something. And when you're trying to write, your palm tends to then get in the way because your palm is resting on it. So this is a palm rest that you can actually, let me bring that back down to size. And you can kind of bring this up however big, and it's an area for you to kind of rest your palm and you can still write. I prefer the other one, this one right here, which actually opens up a little box that's magnified for you. And you can change the size of that if you want, but really what you're doing is you're taking this box and then you bring it down here and notice that it's magnified here for you. That kind of makes it nice so that you can write kind of big here, but it's small but still neat up here on your notes. So when you're ready to start taking your notes, you look at your options here. Like this is just your pencil, and if you long press that, you can change the color or the size of it. This is your highlighter button right here, so you can highlight something if you'd like. Your eraser, if you don't, it's a kind of a nice quick tap it and it erases the whole thing. That's pretty slick. Let's go ahead and say we're going to write something here, a coefficient. Okay, the definition of that is a number. Now right here, notice I hit that green area. That tells it that, hey, you're running out of space, and it automatically shifts over for you. And every time you get over there close and it hits in there, it automatically shifts for you, and so forth. Some other options here, you can automatically scoot it over just a little bit if you want, or this will return it down to the next line. If you want to shift it, you're going to come up here and slide it over and get it adjusted to where you want. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but not a lot. You pretty quickly catch on to how that works, and it works pretty slick. All right, when you're done, you can just tap up here and get rid of the little magnifier thing. All right, so coming back up to the top on this, what are your options? These are kind of those same options. The one thing I didn't talk about is that little scissors. You can cut. Now, it's not going to cut this thing that I imported, but my own handwriting, I can just sit here and circle my own handwriting, Oh, I put that in the wrong spot. I actually wanted that to go down here or something. So you can move stuff around pretty easily. If I didn't want it at all, I could cut it, that kind of stuff. So pretty slick. Let me get something that we have to write on. Okay. Another option up here is the microphone. So if you want to record either my voice or your own voice as you're taking notes, you can do that. We probably won't use that a lot. It will, use up probably quite a bit of storage memory in our iPad. And then over here on the right, we have this plus sign. These are some other things that you can pull in. You can pull in a photo, or you could take a photo. You can put in a sticky note, different options there. The tools kind of change, like what kind of paper you want, if you want purple polka dots, or if you want graph paper, or whatever you want there. And then this one here kind of shows what all the pages of your notes. So this note sheet that we imported was a 2-pager. You can add more pages if you want. You can delete pages if you would like. You can bookmark them. You can add sticky notes. What's pretty slick here is you can search your notes. So now it's not going to search your handwriting, but anything that you've typed in there, you can search that and find in your notes. That's kind of all of those options. And then let's go back up here. This is just our undo button. And back over here, this was that button I selected earlier. This is if you're wanting to share it with someone because you're taking your notes out to someone else. This is pretty slick if you're absent and you got a buddy that took notes for you. Then you can ask them, hey, shoot me the email, or email me the notes from yesterday. And the whole notes can be emailed very quickly. And there's a lot of ways that you can export those, but probably email is what you might use. All right, and then the other thing is this right here, which takes you back to your, kind of like your bookshelf is what that's supposed to be. And again, here are my notes. This is my organization system. So that's kind of a quickie overall how to use Notability. And you're going to, again, use it definitely a lot in Algebra 1, but feel free to use it in your other classes as well. You'll learn a lot more about it as you kind of get used to using it. Good luck.